Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. I am Amy with Growing Your Faith, and today we are doing part 2 of video 3 in the Digital Bible Journaling for Beginners series. So today we're going to get started putting all of our items on our page and then put our book on a desk background. So the first thing I wanted to show you is you can see here that I've got this little edging where I kind of created the cover for my traveler's journal. You don't have to do this, but if you want to, you can. I just duplicated this layer. So you slide this over and hit duplicate, and then I changed the color of this layer. So to do that, you make sure the layer is selected, and then you pick the color that you want. So say we want I don't know. I didn't choose very good colors, but let's try this one. So you then just kind of touch and drag. Oops, sorry. You got to do it kind of quick. And then drag it over and drop it, and it automatically colors in this. Okay, so that blue is not a good color because we've got so much blue on the page already. Let's go with a purple. Let's try this one. All right, so we're just going to drag and drop it, and it changes it to that purple color. You can see. If you long press, this changes back to the color that you had previously used. And if you drag and go to drop, then you'll see this threshold come up where you can kind of determine I think the opacity or how dark you want it to be, something like that. So there's that. I just learned that today. So there you go. Okay, so now we're just going to bring in our files. So again, we're going to drag this up. We're going to pull our files and we're going to bring those over here. And we're just going to start bringing in our elements. So the first element, we're going to bring in our wording here. Let's make this a little bit smaller so we have a little bit more space to work. And you can see here that you can't see it. That's just because I have it underneath my traveler's journal. So we're just going to long hold and drag it up to the top. We can actually put it, well, I don't want it under the clouds. So let's don't do that, I guess. So let's keep that up there. If we put it down here, then it'll clip, but it will be under the clouds. But you can see that by this little arrow here, it went ahead and clipped it. So if I put it up here, my letters will start disappearing. So I'm going to leave this right here, and I'm actually going to make it a little bit bigger than it was in the picture because I kind of like it big like that. And then we're just going to start dragging in our elements here. So this is our cat tail. Oh my gosh, this is the second time I filmed this and I still keep saying it wrong. Okay, so we're going to just kind of drag it over here. I'm going to take it off the page a little bit, and then I'm going to make sure it gets clipped. So long press so that we can move it. And then if you kind of move it down there and then move it back, it clips it. Or you can just go ahead and put it under the letter one and it'll clip it that way too. Now I'm going to have to go in and erase the part that's on the white, but that's okay. I can do that in a minute. Now you can either duplicate this layer or you can just drag it in again. And I'm going to drag this in and I'm going to make it a lot smaller and put it down right here. And you can see it's already clipped here. So I don't have to worry about creating the clipping mask or making sure that it's there. And then I'm going to drag one more in here. But what I'm going to do with this one is I'm going to use this stuff down here. So here you can flip it vertical and here you can flip it horizontal. And that kind of gives us a different view than what we've used with these other two. Then another thing that we can do is kind of drag part of it off this, whoops. I don't want it anywhere near that big. Drag part of it off the screen here like this, and then it looks like a completely different clip art, right? And I think I'm going to leave it right there, and I'm going to leave it that big, okay? And then we're going to start dragging in our dragonflies. My purple one is going to be my largest one, and I'm going to put it over here. like so. And then I'm going to bring this teal one in, and I'm going to make him quite a bit smaller and rotate him that direction and tuck him up underneath here. You can change the layers. So if you want to put him behind the cattails, you can do that. You can long hold and then drag it down to where it's underneath that cat tail. All right, and then I'm going to drag in the green one here and kind of put him over here. And then I just kind of play with it and move it around until I have it the direction that I want, and where I have it all the way on the screen if I want it all the way on the screen, all the way on the page if I want it all the way on the page. And you can just kind of tweak it just a little bit at a time and kind of have it where you want it. So I'm trying to get it to where it's not on any of the letters. Another cool thing about Procreate is when you have it selected like this, you can just tap and it moves it in those directions. So you can get, whoops, don't hit the yellow thing, or don't hit the corners, but so you can get little micro movements out of it, which is super helpful sometimes, especially if you're trying to line things up a certain way. Okay, he's right there. And then I'm going to grab another turquoise one because I want something up here in the corner. I'm just going to make a small one up here, like so. Okay, so now we've got our page done. Let's go ahead and drag and drop our desk in. Now it's going to cover everything up, but that's okay. We will move our layers around. So let's close this. Look, it clipping masked it. That's definitely not what we want, but it will go away whenever we move it. Okay, so we want this to be under everything except for our background layer. So we're going to hold and drag it all the way down here like this. And then we're going to turn off our background layer. And so now we have our background layer like we want it, but you can see that our book is way too big, okay? But we have all of these layers and we don't want to move all of these at one time. So you can go in here and you can say, double click on this and then hit merge down, and it will start merging all these things down. But another feature that is really cool about this is you can put your fingers on each of the layers that you want to merge together and just pinch them together, and it does it for you. Now I get I like to do it in a certain order whenever there's layers involved that I definitely want one on top of the other. So here I'm going to go ahead and put my clouds. I'm going to merge them to this first, and then I'm going to merge that down to my traveler's notebook page, and then I can move this down. And then I'm going to merge it down to the cover. Okay, so we had created all of those layers so that we wouldn't mess anything up. Once we're all done, then we can combine those layers. And that makes it easier for us to move everything around. Okay, so now we can kind of change the size of our book here and even rotate it a little bit so that it fits within the page. But at the same time is, you know, kind of cool looking and where we want it. Okay, so I think I'm going to go with about right there. And you could even, another thing that you could do if you wanted to, is you can put a couple of the stickers over here. So these are, you know, stickers, and they're digital stickers, so you could put a couple of them over here like they were laying around if you wanted to. Let's do this. The one thing about doing this that you probably would want to do is kind of outline them in white, but you don't have to. But I'll show you what that looks like. Come here. Okay, so now what we are going to do is we are going to create a shadow. You will use this a lot in your journaling. because you want things to look like they are actually physical products. And to do that, you're going to duplicate your layer, and then you're going to tap on the bottom layer, you're going to hit the plus sign, then you're going to get your true black, drag and drop it, create a clipping mask, merge down, and then we're going to go over here to this magic little wand here, and we're going to pick the Gaussian blur. And when you slide here, it gives you how much of that blur you want on that layer. So we're going to drag it way back down because we don't want that much. So maybe a 10% there. And you can see how it puts that shadow around our book that makes it look like it's actually sitting on top of something. You can then change the transparency a little bit if you want it to be a little bit lighter. So you can see how it changes there. It's up to you how much you want, how much shadow you want and how much you don't. So that's totally up to you. Okay, and then I'm gonna just merge that down. So you can save this in just the image and share that if you want to, or you can put it on some sort of a background, and then you're just gonna again save. So you're gonna go to the tool, you're gonna go to share, and you're going to go to PNG and save your thing. Now, if you want to, you can crop and resize your canvas so that it's right on the edge of this, and then you won't have any black space around your picture. So then hit done, and it crops your canvas for you. And here is our page, all nice and finished. We have just a few more minutes, so I will show you how I would put a little bit of white around here so that they would look like stickers. So I'm going to add another layer so that I don't mess anything up. And then I'm going to grab white, and I'm going to grab that monoline brush. And your brush is going to decide, your brush size is going to decide how much of a line is going around these. Okay, so put your, put this blank layer up underneath your dragonfly. And then, so, oh, my dragonfly is too see-through. That's okay. Whoops, I held it too long. Okay, so you can just go around it just like this, kind of draw on that line, and it will give, whoops, it will give you that white outline. That will make it look a little bit more like a real sticker. And if you want a little bit smaller outline, then just make your pen size smaller. Oops. Just like so. Now you can also, so now that you've got that done, you can merge those two together. So merge that down. Then you can duplicate, go to your bottom layer, add a layer, go back to your black, drag and drop, clipping mask, merge down, magic wand, Gaussian blur, and you can create a little bit of a shadow. And then merge down. Okay, so I want you to take a look and see how different these two look just because I did those two things, and how much it enhances and makes it actually look like you have a little sticker sitting on a table. Okay, you can see how, whoops, how flat this looks. It doesn't look three-dimensional. But when you add that line and you add that shadow, it completely changes this. And that's not even much of a shadow, but it's enough that makes it look like something sitting on top of it. Okay, so I hope that this has been helpful for you, and I hope you're enjoying these videos. Make sure to let me know what you think down in the comments below. If there's anything else that you would like to see, we still have plenty of videos to go in this series and a lot more things that I'm going to teach you. But if you have anything that you would like to see, put those down in the comments below. I'm always looking for ideas of videos to make for you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.